Da 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 da. Charlie here, joined as always by my wonderful co-host
Bye,
Duke.
do.
Duke. How's it going today, La Duke? Hey, you know what? I fucking agree because today we are talking some Best Picture Oscar predictions. So it's our first official Oscar predictions of the year, and it's kind of the perfect timing, you know, the pre-fall festivals, if you will. And we're going to rip this Band-Aid right off because I need a moment here, okay? Hamnet is finally being respected. It is finally getting acknowledged. Like, dude, I understand that most people just need to see something visually for themselves, right? But I've held this line steady the entire time. You remember, in December, we did our most anticipated movies of the year. Hamnet made the list. Now it is the most anticipated movie of the year. Look, Chloe Zhao working on Shakespeare should have never been fucking doubted. But look, I don't want this to be like a victory.
Maybe working on the most dramatic Shakespeare thing too, which I don't want to like move past that. Like for those of you who don't know, the last thing that I think of that I can know of, other than like some other like and I'm sure there was some indie stuff that was done in the because obviously a lot of young actors do a lot of Shakespeare, so I'm sure there's some connectivity there, right? But outside of like indie productions, the last thing that I know of that was based on Hamlet that was in a major production was fucking The Northman. Like
yeah, no kidding. So it's just like, look, I'm just really happy. It feels like finally everyone has acknowledged and put Hamnet in the top 10. Like it's about time. And I know Focus Features' other movie kind of had to fall for that to happen. And that's fair. I'll give people that. But Duke, I am just so glad because Chloe Zhao is so fucking incredibly talented. And I cannot wait to see this movie. Look, we finally got some images of it. And before we just get into all of these, I mean, look, Hamnet is in the top 10. It was always going to be until it wasn't, right? That's just the way it works around here.
I think in our like if we didn't have it, we didn't do a we didn't do a way too early top 10. But in my head, it was always up there because we were talking about it before any of the rest of these movies. The only other movies we talked about, we knew Timmy was in something. We didn't know what that was going to be yet. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, which at the time wasn't even called. I don't think we had necessarily even had the correct title.
Deliver Me From Nowhere. Right. So you'd always get it kind of like, what is that?
Yeah. So, but anyway, so things have changed since then. And I guess probably we had considered Wicked, but we didn't know what the world was going to look like. So we were like, there was a world where Wicked doesn't get nominated before everything started, and then like Avatar. But there was beyond that. You'd heard of Life of Chuck early in the year, but that was not that early in the year. It was like at least a few months in. So like. And then maybe Del Toro again. Like these are ideas. I'm just looking at the list. Seeing like what I could have maybe known if we had done that. But like Hamnet was the one. Like that was the one we for sure knew. Like this is probably gonna. Like,
it's Chloe and Shakespeare with her ability to.
We wanted it for Sinners, but we didn't. We hadn't seen the movie yet. You know what I mean?
So hadn't seen it. No, and Marty Supreme, you just never know. Like sometimes when a director breaks off from a duo, you just never know. But I feel pretty safe with the Safdie brothers. But. Okay,
I think the Safdies are going to be fucking cleaning the clock this year. I think it might be what's happening.
Yeah, that might be the fucking case.
We may have to update this to include Smashing Machine, dude, because it's getting some momentum.
Smashing Machine. Yep, we're going to be talking about that. Well, I guess let's just kind of get into it. So, look, as of right now, we have 3 locks. All right, that's kind of the way it is. And the first lock being. The movie that we've kind of had around the longest, Duke, and that's Sinners. So I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. I mean, no shock here. It's kind of been our only lock for the past 4 months, but I mean, it's still, I don't want to say 100% because I guess nothing ever is, but I feel like this is
certainly when this came out, there was a question mark. The only thing we were like sure about was supporting actor, and then that came out super early that was already being talked about. So we knew this movie was going to be. That was our first signal, by the way. This movie was going to be an awards consideration seriously, like they were going to push for it because we didn't know. We just didn't know if it was there because there was a lot of stuff being said, and people could have, But we definitely had our discussions about it, and I think for me, I always just wanted it to be. So like the fact 100%. That it ended up getting in any categories is just makes me happy because. Like last year was like a bit of a fucking one-time only thing that probably will ever happen where all the movies that were nominated were like our favorite movies of the year. Probably will still end up being the case this year to an extent. We'll have appreciation for them, but I can't imagine. I mean, there was a Dune movie up for fucking consideration, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so even though it didn't win, and you know, like it's like we still got to watch Dune be up there with all these fucking incredible movies, which was something that I don't think we're gonna be able to replicate at least until next year. So but you know, you know, like so that'll be fun to get back to. But yeah, no, I mean. You know what? That's the biggest thing. This is our Dune this year, I think. I would say. Wouldn't you agree? I'd say for us, this is probably
it's the spring release. You know,
like
in
it's
terms
so in
of
a lot
my
of ways.
favorite going into it, I think unless I completely despise the movie, Hamnet's going to be the Dune, just because it's Chloe. But I mean, this is kind of the Everything Ever All at Once. You know, it is the Dune from last year because it's our
in
spring
that case,
release.
As you know, I'm a huge fan of Ryan Coogler. You loved the first loved the first Creed movie. I never really watched the other one, so I don't know what those get like, and I don't know if he's involved anymore after that point. But I loved Creed, and then I obviously Black Panther. If you guys didn't see in my, have we released the MCU ranking? You said I don't even remember.
Those are up.
Okay, in my MCU rankings, I think I put Black Panther at like number 2 or something like that. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head, but it was in the top 3 at least. I know that much. And it is. I think I literally put it right behind Eternal. So, and if that doesn't say everything about, me and you right there, like this movie, that sentiment, the style of directing, the sort of like, and I will say this, and I don't give a fuck if people think I'm some like white person preaching to the choir right now, because I'll say it. I love these fucking movies where they elevate Black culture and Black shit. Like Black shit. That sounds so fucking racist, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and like shit that you wouldn't have. No, because like there's a whole film industry within the film industry that has all been done by people that are trying to create like a culture and show a culture that doesn't get enough love from Hollywood sometimes. You know what I mean? And this is a brilliant
like, Jordan Peele quote similar to that. So
yeah, right. I'm not Jordan Peele, obviously, so I'm not nearly as eloquent as that guy, as eloquent as I might be, and that guy's a brilliant fucking director and a brilliant person in general. But in fact, he tried to get one of our horror movies, that ended up being a fucking banger this year. I think it was Weapons, right?
Weapons.
So, like,
yep.
It's like anyway. I love this, and I love Michael B. Obviously, I mean the 3 movies I just mentioned, this movie and the 2 that other Ryan Coogler movies that I'm a fan of. Michael B's in those movies too. You know what I mean? So I guess Michael B. might be one of my favorite actors at this point. I think that's pretty fair to say, but. I mean, for me, this, I just, I walked into this one wanting to love it, loved it, I mean, it has, if we're talking about awards consideration, it has, and I still think this, and it might be hard for me to stick to this all year. I think it has the best scene all year in it. I think that scene, spoiler warning for the movie if you haven't seen it, where you go through the eras of history and the different, and you go to the past and the future, and you get this ethereal sort of dance of death going on in the burning barn. You know what I mean? Like, that is one of the most visually stunning things I've ever seen in my life. And it sticks with me to this day. If that doesn't get something at this awards, then we are doing it all wrong. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it. That's why this is at number 1 on our list. I mean, I don't think I can put it better than that.
Something really good would have to come along and fucking beat it. And so, yeah, I mean, in terms of
there are movies left out there that could do it, especially like, I mean, we saw what The Brutalist did. I mean, I know that's not Brady directing, but it's still a script by those 2, and they're not going to have the visual language not match the energy of the script. That's just, it wouldn't make any sense.
And look, this is polling really, really well in above the line and below the line categories. So above the line, we have director, we have supporting actor, we have original screenplay, which is going to be the toughest competition this year probably we've had in quite some time. Casting,
so crazy when last year was insane too.
Casting above the line? Who knows? I think the consensus right now is people think it is. So
I think it should be. I think it's entirely. If you're getting awarded for casting, then the rest of your movie is going to be ridiculous too. I would hope anyway.
Yeah. So below the line, I mean, we're talking cinematography very strong, editing very strong, production design very strong, costume design very strong. So just a lot of these craft categories, your sound, score, original song. I mean, if this goes the way it might, I mean,
I just flash back to our conversation where we talked about when we reviewed the movie, and we literally talked about in that order all those things basically being one of the all the things we liked about the movie. And I remember saying to you, I was like, how is anything going to top this throughout the rest of the year? Because it seems like the movie that wins all these categories on. And then I knew there was more stuff that had to come out because it was too early. You know what I mean? That's just the way that it is. I guess probably the same thoughts you were having about Dune, right? Because Dune's costumes are incredible, and then editing and all that stuff.
Exactly. So. Very competitive in the crafts. And like there's some on our list here that will be competitive in crafts and maybe nowhere else. But number 2 right now is the Grand Prix winner at the Cannes Film Festival, and it's the second lock. So we have 3 locks. Sinners and Sentimental Value are the first 2. This is Joachim Trier, coming off of The Worst Person in the World, and that also starred Renette. So, look, this movie is look, for starters, Grand Prix, can't go wrong with that. And where is this polling really hard? Well, Best Actress, the fucking front lead, other than now Hamnet, it's looking like those 2 are running away. Director, supporting actor, the favorite right now, 2 supporting actresses, original screenplay, casting, international feature, and then below the line, it's looking like editing right now, and I think just editing and below the line right now. So it's not going to be a very crafty category, if you will, but in the above the line, Duke, I mean, we've seen it year in and year out. Sometimes that's all you need, right? I don't think how many below the line categories did Anora win last year?
That's true. It's also one of those things that like the most elite movies are generally all like. Sorry, I'm trying to get my voice to sound normal here. It just took a puff off the pipe, but anyway, so like what I was gonna say is, if the above the line categories, they're considered like this elite tier for a reason. You can be in just those, and you're gonna be considered one of the best movies of the year. If you just won Best Picture and won nothing else, you would be the best movie of the year. That's just how that would work. It's unfortunate for everything else that would have won, but that's technically the reason why I think they try to give Best Picture to something that wins other things, because it feels more earned. It feels like you're awarding a movie you at least liked in those other categories. There will be a day when something wins Best Picture and wins not another award, and it's going to blow people's minds, And
this is a movie that it did debut at Cannes, so it is out in the world. People have seen it. And look, I mean, if we're talking in a world where Renette, Stellan, and Elle all win acting awards, this wins editing, this wins director, it's going to win BP, like screenplay as well. Like
By the way, pray for that year, because that means there was a movie that was so well edited, a movie that was so well directed, and scripts that were so well written that they were better than the Best Picture winner. But the Best Picture winner was still voted by enough people as the Best Picture winner because they believed it was their favorite movie, the best movie of the year, whatever. Yeah. But they just couldn't vote at that margin in other categories, and we never get to see the votes. But if you did, you'd see they were really close, probably. I don't know, I just invented a whole scenario schizophrenically, but whatever.
But there have been examples in the past where someone wins Best Picture and they don't really win a lot of other shit. I mean, it does happen, So,
like I said, I think they intentionally don't let it happen like that, but it could, in theory, I guess. I don't know.
No, it very well could. Well, one of our next movies that is a lock at this point, and this is the newest lock, so this is the most recent one, because this is kind of being touted as the comeback kid, if you will. There's a lot of, the great actor that is finally, career profile, if you will. That movie is Netflix's Jay Kelly, premiering at Venice next week. It's kind of the headline act. Hollywood is absolutely going to love this movie. They're going to be in love with it, Duke. I mean, this is such a Hollywood movie. It's Noah Baumbach. And Noah is coming off of he just did Marriage Story, and Marriage Story, people loved that, right? So, White Noise. Look, it's just, he's one of those guys where he's going to eventually do the damn thing. Is it going to be this year? I don't know. Jay Kelly looks like it might be.
Co-write this with Greta by chance, or was this on his own?
It looks like it was Emily Mortimer who helped write this one.
Okay, sure. I mean, because I know they wrote like a couple of her movies together, I want to say, but it could just be something that she prefers to do. Maybe she wants ideas. I don't know that he wrote the movies. I'm saying she was like, I'm sure it's like how I'm sure James Gunn goes to Jennifer Holland all the time, like, hey, what should I do? It's kind of like that vibe,
But just this movie just screams Oscar because, well, Netflix is gonna they promote the shit out of stuff, and looking at Netflix's other movies, this is far and away the one that they're gonna push. Now, Frankenstein will get pushed for the crafts and all that, but that's fine. Where is this polling really hard? Director.
If he did a good job, they'll push Guillermo for director too. I'm sure.
They could, yeah. Director. We're talking actor George Clooney. It's really, I mean, actor is fucking loaded. Between George, Timothy, Brendan Fraser, Jeremy Allen White and Daniel Day-Lewis right now. I mean, there are so many people in actor. This is going to be such a gauntlet of, and maybe this is the year.
Being Timmy or fucking Jeremy Allen right now is like you just happen to pick a year. Brendan Fraser and Daniel Day-Lewis. Fraser already he's probably gonna beat you. Daniel Day-Lewis is one of the greatest actors of all time. Like,
yeah. Adam Sandler for supporting. I think a lot of people are going to get behind that. Original screenplay. It's also looking pretty strong in editing. And I think similar to our last movie, score. So this one does have score. It's polling pretty high. And so, yeah, I mean, Duke, no real surprise here with Jay Kelly. And again, this is at Venice, so we will know next week what's up. And if this is going to be our Oscar winner, like if it's going to pull that high, or if it's just going to be a nominee. So, but I do think, bearing complete fucking disaster, I think we'll see this nominated. It feels pretty comfortable saying.
Nominated is it's so funny, and I think this is a good point to say this, because after this point we get into quote unquote the weeds, where we're now to the stuff where a lot of you probably maybe have heard of this stuff, but not necessarily. You get what I'm saying, Charlie? Like it's going to be less known stuff, so that no one's really seen anything yet. So like at this point, I think it'd be good to say nominated is so easy to say. It's probably a good bet that at least the top 10 they're going to get nominated, unless the list just completely changes, and that does happen, you know. But barring a complete shift in the vibe completely, like you just said, nominated is probably a good bet for a lot of these, because being nominated, I mean, there's so many slots for nomination. It's a very good chance, you know, like because like we have 10 movies, right? But the 10 movies, there's more than 10 slots in all these categories. You know what I mean? So like there's going to be way more movies than we even have listed nominated, you know. Best Picture is just like it's 10 now, so it's like it's a lot, you know, like there's so many options and what gets in. And I think this next movie that we're talking about is actually going to be really interesting to bring up in this regard, because it's going to have a lot of different angles that it's going to come at people from, and it's Rental Family, right? And I mean, we talked about the aura of Fraser, right? And that is what it is. But like, you know, obviously casting a brilliant actor, obviously, you know, never going to go wrong with that. So that already puts you in that category. Acting is probably a pretty good lock for this movie, right? Best actor, I should say, you know. But like then you have this whole aspect underpinning this movie, and there's this really subtle, I can already tell through the trailers, and they're just trying to hide it, I can tell, but because they want to save it for the movie. I think that's going to be a supporting performance in that movie, that guy in that movie that is in all like the background of all the trailer shots, but he almost seems like he's not in the movie.
Akira Emoto.
That guy is going to be in that whole
for
fucking
best supporting actor right now.
Is he already polling as just on the trailer? That's incredible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not surprised.
Best supporting actor right now. Stellan Skarsgård, Adam Sandler, Delroy Lindo, Akira Emoto, Paul Mescal for Hamlet now is finally Sean Bean for Anemone. So I'll say this, guys. Anemone is not on the top 20 right now.
Yeah,
but
you think it's gaining steam?
I do think it will be. Okay. I mean, it's apparently being touted as just a showcase performances from two acting legends in Daniel Day-Lewis and Sean Bean. So I think Anemone will climb up. I just want to give everyone a warning. It is not on the top 20 right now.
That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, Jude Law and The Wizard of the Kremlin is another one getting a lot of excitement.
God, Jude Law is so fucking good.
One battle after another.
Is Jude Law ever not nominated? What the fuck, dude? What the hell? I mean, obviously he's not in movies, but like,
it's one of so with Rental Family.
Yeah. Back to
casting easily.
Sure. Yeah.
It's so because it's a very small cast. Where is this going to succeed? Searchlight Pictures. We saw them push really hard last year. Mm-hmm. So Searchlight, this is their movie. And this will win TIFF's People's Choice. Like, this is going to win the big TIFF award.
I can see that, yeah.
That is, when that happens, again, if it doesn't happen, fucking watch out. This movie's falling. That's why it's no lock yet. But when that happens, I think everyone across the board is going to be locking this one in as, you know, people are going to go to this movie. They're going to smile. They're going to cry. They're going to talk about how great it was.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to cry at the end of this movie.
I can't wait. Dude, I can't wait.
Great.
And we talked about the gauntlet of screenplay, right? This is in there. This is in there for editing as well.
Yeah.
And that kind of looks like it's just it for the other categories. And then obviously, you know, Brendan Fraser and Akira Emoto. So
I wouldn't be surprised if this movie was in for editing because when I talk about this sometimes, and I feel like I don't know that it ever like really comes across because usually when I say something like this, the movie does have some sort of big edit in it that's like, oh my God, that was incredibly technical and blah blah blah. What I think sometimes editing can be, why you get awarded for it. I've watched so many action scenes where it's just like smash cut, smash cut, smash cut,
Mhm.
smash cut. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like fine. You obviously didn't shoot anything really good looking, so you just cut around it, right? You had 30 cameras, so you could, just cut 30 times and it just looks exciting, but it's not really anything. Whereas, like, knowing when not to cut, knowing when to just sit on a frame, knowing when to just, you know what I mean? Like, editing
And
choices can
knowing
be
the
subtle
pace,
sometimes.
like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Conclave, and why Conclave won last year, it was the most flawless editing on that
It
style of
didn't feel like
movie.
you were watching a movie. It felt like you were like just like looking through a
Yeah,
window, literally. Like that's what
and
it felt like. You know what I mean?
and we
Like,
might have a flashy editing winner this year. It might just be Marty Supreme, and everything else is kind of irrelevant. But that's fine. If it doesn't hit the way, if it doesn't land the way they think it does, you never know. So, but there is flashy editing. But other times, like you said, it's just all about, you know, making
I say that.
decisions.
I've said that a few times now. Every time I say it, I feel like I'm gonna get somebody that's gonna like
My bad. You
message
know what?
in.
Honora won it last year, so Conclave didn't win it. But we
But that
still
was the
voted.
talk. Everyone thought it
We
was a
still
lock for
voted for that
Conclave.
when
You know, we
we
all thought it was a lock for Conclave. We thought that was what Conclave would walk away with. You know what I mean? And I don't think Conclave won. Did it win for anything? I can't remember. Like
I can't remember if it might have walked away empty-handed. It was really great at the BAFTA, but yeah, Honora won editing. That's when we knew Honora was, oh, this motherfucker's
we knew
taking home
Honora was
4
winning
Oscars.
Best Picture at that moment. And we were like, oh shit, it's happening.
Yeah. But yeah, so look, this movie has a lot on its plate. I mean, the other movie, I mean, we just kind of mentioned
I
it.
mean, we mentioned Conclave. You know what's funny? You mentioned does that rental family become the Conclave of this year because maybe it underperforms despite it being a really good movie with a lot
It
of really
could.
good. Because that's something we have to think about too. Maybe that is something that also could happen to the next movie we're going to talk about. I mean, it's go ahead. I mean, I didn't want to do
What's
stuff on you.
sometimes what the movie's about is it going to be something that really influences how people feel? Now, this next movie we're talking about, we have at number 5. So just to recap real quick: Sinners 1, Sentimental Value 2, Jay Kelly 3, Rental Family 4, Marty Supreme at number 5. This feels like the movie that's got the best chance to win this fucking thing, just based on what it's about. This sports, comedy drama film starring Timothy Chalamet, who's easily one of the hottest actors in the world right now. This is going to get the A24 backing. Only weird thing about it, Duke, when the fuck is this thing going to premiere? It is not.
Yeah, we need to get some information about this movie. We just have nothing.
It's not going to TIFF. It's not going to New York. Where is this thing going?
Is there a possibility that because this kind of crosses into a realm of every now and then there is a movie that I don't know that those movies ever got awards consideration, but there is a really, really well done sports movie where it hits the public somehow, even though it's not a really well known athlete or anything, like on like the global scale, like you wouldn't have merch for that person, but they've obviously made a lot of money doing sports, you know what I mean? So, but like is this something that just like maybe hits the public in a way they just release it in theaters and see what happens? Like, because like realistically, that's what Sinners did, right? It didn't wait to be released at a festival, like.
Yeah,
So,
I do not. Sinners was not a festival movie.
So you know what I'm saying? Is that the plan here? Is that the play? Do they just release this
it might
in
be
a dead spot and then hope it takes off? And if it doesn't, then
they might have so much confidence in this movie that they literally just
which would be
debut
ballsy because not everything has been making a lot of money this year,
Which would also be ballsy because it's A24 and most of their stuff, even if it's a month before, will debut at a festival.
Oh yeah,
so
that's a stunning amount of confidence from a studio that generally is aiming at those festivals and stuff. Like this is, or maybe is it possible A24 has something else they're trying to push at those festivals?
I mean, I have to really go down a rabbit hole, but I don't know if A24 has ever done a movie where they didn't debut at a festival.
What I'm curious though, is there other movies does A24 have other stuff at festival this year? Like, is that maybe what it is? Like there was just too much already. Like, because I mean, there's obviously Neon has a couple movies this year.
We know A24 bought a lot of movies, but you're right. Like, what if
they bought something and that's what they're pushing at the festival since it's already going to be there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so like it's possible it's just something we don't know about, right? You know what I mean?
Well, we know they're putting the Smashing Machine in festivals.
It might be that. Smashing Machine might have just yoinked it, dude. That could be straight up what we're seeing here. It's already
highest to lowest was at Cannes.
Look, dude,
Um,
I don't want to be a dick to Timmy because Timmy's a really good actor, but The Rock is a way bigger name, you know? So it could be what
yeah.
it is, you know?
Eddington
Like,
was at Cannes. Sorry Baby was at Sundance. Dude, they just bought so many fucking movies.
yeah, no, their entire festival slate was
If I
already
Had Legs,
filled
I'd
up,
Kick You was
literally.
Sundance. Like they've bought
No,
so many
literally, that's
movies.
what it is. If you literally look at it, it's literally all their movies that they bought this year. Others are already slotted at festivals. So if they were to
Yeah.
slot fucking Timmy's movie at any festival this year, it would be competing with their other movie. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I also think there is something to it.
or
I
it'd be
mean,
out of competition. And what the fuck's the point of debuting it out
we're
of
going to be
competition? You know
gearing
what I mean?
up
Like,
towards, because we're going to hit that Christmas vibe a couple weeks before Christmas, and it's going to be really gearing up, and you're going to see this movie everywhere.
is there anything
So,
else coming out at the Christmas at the box office? I can't even think of anything.
Avatar.
Yeah, so it's gonna get crushed by
Avatar's the
Avatar.
big
So
one.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this
Avatar's
thing's
the week
not.
before, luckily, but
I
Avatar
mean,
will still
yes,
probably
but
win this
Avatar
week.
is gonna get. But Avatar is gonna be popular for 30 weeks. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like,
So, but no, I mean, I think you will have a lot of people. This will get dads out because it's a sports movie. Like this is gonna be. It's. I mean, look, I think it's gonna be the A24's biggest movie, even with Avatar. I think this is gonna beat Everything Everywhere All at Once and become their
I'm
biggest
so
movie.
glad we went down that rabbit hole. That just explains so much to me about why this one's not being pushed in the same way. They just
Yeah.
don't care. That's crazy, bastards.
I think they just literally might have the utmost confidence in it because, again, similar
No,
to
I like to think of it like that because I mean it's Timmy, it's
and
a
it's
sports
Christmas.
movie. It
It's
seems like
Christmas.
yes, it's Christmas. It also seems like it's a very Timmy like character. You know what I mean? Like it's like a very his type of like he's gonna be leading this whole movie. The
Yeah.
supporting like the only thing I can give you an example of this is literally a complete unknown. Where yes, the rest of the cast is great, obviously Monica, but like you know it's
The
he's the
trailer
whole
for this
movie.
movie fucking humps. I mean,
It does.
it is so good.
It's a good trailer. Go watch
So
it if you haven't seen it already.
so where is this polling? Best Picture,
Of
obviously.
course,
Best Director, Best
Actor.
Actor, Best Supporting Actress in Gwyneth Paltrow. There's a little buzz
Timmy's
right
got to
now.
be. I think he's turned into one of those actors that pulls those performances out of other people. Not
Yeah.
that Gwyneth has never. I mean, but I've seen her give good performances, and then I'm not trying to be an asshole. I never really saw her do anything crazy as Pepper Potts. You know, like.
Yeah, you just never
so-
know, right?
Then the character could have gotten to depths. You know what I mean? And but there's a side character, so you know, like. So, but and that's RDJ who pulls great performances out of people too. But it's also with Marvel. You know what I mean? So. But you know, then seeing her doing that makes me excited that she's getting the love for that. You know.
It does. So, yeah, that's so it was also original screenplay, of course, casting, cinematography, and again, when we mention editing, this is your flashy editing. It's just gonna be production design, costume design, score, so you can kind of see where we're going here. This is also like Sinners, and it's gonna really compete in the below the line categories. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fucking supersonic fuckfest to say the least.
I have a question for you. Can movies that
Yeah.
are broken into like I'll give you examples. Minor spoiler warning for Weapons if you haven't seen it. It's not going to actually spoil anything in the movie. It's just of
Yeah.
the structure. Can movies like Weapons, like Freaky Tales, like Sorry Baby, can they get considered for editing even though they're broken into chapters
Yeah.
in a weird way?
Yeah,
That's
look,
not traditional. Because I only ask that because there are going to be some nerds out there that want traditionally written screenplays and stuff like that. Like what's
I mean, there's definitely something to it, you know, to have that take on editing. There's something
it's still
to it.
3 acts in Sorry Baby. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
there's only I think there's like technically 4 chapter transitions at different points. Like there's the beginning and
Strange
then there's a
Darling's the perfect example.
transition, but it's technically 3 acts still. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know, like you can have a 5-act play that's a 3-act structure, and people will be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But just watch a movie that's got 5 fucking like sections to it, and recognize that there's actually a rising and falling action across that is more like a 3-act play than it is like an actual 5-act anything. But whatever, like.
I mean, look, just relate it to Strange Darling. You know, the structure of that movie.
Isn't that like
so
8
fucking
chapters
cool.
or 5 chapters or something, and they're told like completely out of order?
Yeah.
That's my favorite version of it so far. I mean, it's
I mean,
not the
we're
best movie of
opening-
them, but it's still cool because it's like you have
Yeah.
to figure it out as you go. Like,
It's just brilliant. So, all right, number 6. So we got a movie that is debuting at the New York Film Festival, and it's a movie that the trailer's already out. The trailer's a fucking slammer. Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere. I mean, there's gonna be one of these types of movies. Now, in our top 10, we have 3. Will that happen? I have no idea. But they're all in there for good
Hey,
reasons.
if Michael hadn't got pushed back, you know what else would be here?
Yeah, that's true. Might have been 4. But yeah, I think you can get the energy off this trailer. I think A Complete Unknown's a good track with this on where we're gonna go. Look, it's I fully expect this to be one of those movies that we're talking about for a while. I think Jeremy Allen White, a best actor, doing really strong. Director, we could be looking here. And then so the supporting cast, Jeremy Strong, Paul Walter Hauser, there's some fucking big hitters here, man. And I wonder where they're going to go.
Is this finally the Paul Walter Hauser performance where they let him go? Is this the one?
It could be. Look, this is one of our first movies we're going to mention for this adapted screenplay. Very fucking insane category this year's adapted screenplay in terms of no one has any fucking clue what it is right now. Casting. So obviously those names we just listed.
In a world where there's not a lot of good adapted screenplays, could Superman get in there?
Hey,
it's Superman. An adapted story.
It is an adapted
from All-Star Superman, and
it is an adapted story
for all Superman for all seasons. All I'm saying. Yeah.
But where this movie is going to be really strong, of course, we're gonna sound, original song. It's gonna keep an eye out for those. But where's your excitement level for this right now? This is one that we're actually seeing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at like a 13 for excitement for this one.
Okay. We're about 2 months away from this. This is reasonable.
One I'm going to get out to the week probably. If I somehow have that weekday off, when it drops, I'll go see it somehow, like maybe I say fuck it and don't go into work that day.
It's going to be a fucking rock concert at the theater. Like, it's going to be
Literally.
Great.
And I think people are going to get out for this because Springsteen has a really, Springsteen's one of those artists like Bob Dylan, where there's a lot of people that are fans that will go out to the theater, like with Wicked. There's certain niche groups out there that are into certain things, that will go out and see a thing. And then on top of that, you have just music fans that'll go out to see this movie. Yeah. You got fans of the show, Yes, Jeff. You have fans of that going out there. You know what I mean? So this is gonna be a big movie this year, and I'm super excited for it. Jeremy Allen White is a phenomenal actor, going all the way back to when he was playing on Shameless, you know what I mean? And I remember him being a standout to me then, and there are a lot of great actors on that show, don't get it twisted, but he stood out to me then, and obviously he goes on to The Bear, wins all the awards, basically steals them from everybody for years, except for when Ted Lasso was there, and then so
without seeing any of these best actor performances yet that are polling really well, my guess is this is the one that you and I are going to.
This is going to be our favorite. No, because my favorite performance, if you remember last year for the men, even though I knew he wasn't winning, I loved Timmy in A Complete Unknown. And I suspect that I'm going to love how Jeremy disappears into this role, because I didn't see Timmy for 2 fucking hours or whatever that movie was. I suspect I'm not going to see Timmy either.
When they're showing the concert at the end of this trailer, the fucking energy that eludes from that trailer clip, I have a lot of confidence in this one, an unbelievable amount of confidence. So,
I remember we had heard of this movie because we'd seen A Complete Unknown. We were like, wow, what a movie. And we'd heard of the movie. And I don't think Jeremy Allen White was cast yet, was he?
If he was, it just wasn't very.
It was rumored. It was rumored that he was cast, and we were like, "Oh my god, imagine if they did that." And then they came out and said, "No, we're doing it." Because it's probably one of those testing the waters headlines that gets out. Where they're like, "Oh, let's see if we can do this." And they were like, "Yeah, we'll fucking do it." And like, "Oh shit," remember because they did that with Robert Pattinson too. It felt like they kept testing it. The fucking could Robert Pattinson be Batman? And then all of a sudden he was. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Manufacturing the consent, but yeah, okay. Speaking of movies that don't need to manufacture my consent to go see them, fucking Wicked for good. Whew. This is going to be, we talk about a concert in the theater, dude. This is going to be a fucking live action musical on stage in the theater. And that's what it was the first time. I'm fully expecting this to live up to the hype. If it doesn't, then wow, what a Titanic fall that'll be to see. But
just John Chu.
Yes.
We talk about directors with pedigree.
Is he in conversation for it already? Consistent. Or? Because he won fucking the director award last year when he wasn't expected to. So not at the Oscars.
God, where was that? That was at Golden Globes, I think. It was one of those. Yeah,
was it the Globes or SAG? It might have been SAG. No, or DGA. It was one of those awards.
Critics' Choice.
Critics' Choice, that's right. It was Critics' Choice because that was one of the last ones we watched before the Oscars. And that's why, because we thought it was going to throw a wrench in things for director. Because we're like, holy shit, now only a couple of the directors nominated at the Oscars have actually won something this year. And John
since this
was one of
movie's
them.
in contention for Best Picture, he's got to be a name that is,
I hope
so,
for
on the
fuck's sake.
list. Is he in the top 5? Who knows? But he's got to be on the list.
He's at least like, if there were 10 for each category, which obviously there's not, but if there were, he'd be on the 10. It's just there's not. So, he might be literally number 6, but we don't know, but yeah, I mean, I'm really going to enjoy this movie regardless of what happens with it. I'm really excited to see how they wrap this up. They shot him back to back, so it shouldn't be of any lesser quality. If it somehow is, then what the fuck, then what happened in the back half of that shoot,
And we know
it's not fucking possible for this movie not to be good, and I will fucking die on that hill,
Yeah, you get a lot of people out there that are trying to do the thing of, oh, I've seen the play. You're not going to like how this ends. No one's going to like it. It's going to suck. Dude, it's not the same as watching the casual audience that's never seen it and doesn't care about any of that watching this, So it's just, you can't relate it. You have no idea what people are going to
I think they just think that people don't realize that Elphaba's going to lose at the end.
I know.
It's
so
not
strange.
The most obvious thing in the fucking world. She has to be the bad guy at the end because she's the
Wicked
bad
Witch
guy
of the
in the fucking movie. You can't just change that part of the story. And if they did, then that's going to piss off those people anyway, because I guarantee that's not what happens in the story. And if I'm wrong, and somehow Wicked has the worst ending to anything ever, and she somehow doesn't turn into the Wicked Witch later, then I don't fucking know what the hell we're even doing. But
exactly. And
there's only one way this can end, and it's been obvious from the beginning. And they even hinted at it in the first movie. That's where we're going. It's supposed to be about somebody's falling to that part. You literally have it spelled out to you by Ariana in the first 5 minutes of the movie. I don't understand how this could. Not everybody who's bad story started the same way. It's what I'm saying. It's literally what it's about.
Where literally we open the movie celebrating that the Wicked Witch is dead.
I'm sorry, man. This is all about that, and it's why I like it so much because it's a cool story, and I love the dimension they added by having it be played by somebody who wasn't traditionally going to be cast in that role in the play because of the way the fucking world is, And
let's get into that. I mean, Cynthia is pulling really hard for actress. Yes. And Ariana,
this will be the time she wins it because she didn't win it last time and she didn't really have a chance, unfortunately. But I think she does actually have a really good chance this time.
She's got a gauntlet in front of her with the Hamnet.
If she does what she can do in this movie, and I know she can because I saw it in the first movie, it was a tough year. It could be the same thing again, but I just don't know. Performances aren't really hitting for me like they were for those big time performances last year. I'm just my own personal opinion, all the big time movies where I'm expecting there to be those big time, and I'm not saying big time as in big budget, but I'm saying big Oscar, going. But I'm not people. People were really fucking going for it last year, and I have yet to see the movies where they are this year, so I'll have to see those ones,
exactly. She's right now. It's just Renette from Sentimental Value and Buckley from Hamnet. So, those are the only two right now that I think are a little bit ahead of her. But I think Cynthia is very, very strong to be nominated. And
did you see how the crowd at the Oscars reacted to her singing the song last year, dude?
Absolutely.
They love her. They want to give her her flowers. I think this is when it happens. I would be shocked.
Yeah,
Again, these performances might be groundbreaking,
yeah,
but I just think there are some times where you have to do things like this. And it's not because of some fucking secret cabal or something. It's because it's fucking we didn't do it with Black Panther. And it's not because it's fucking Cynthia. I'm saying because Black Panther was a cultural fucking event. And I think these Wicked movies are a similar level of cultural event. Not in that they're changing the way fucking people, but I do think people walked into those movies with that similar attitude they were trying to walk into with that they did there. And I'm sure there were still shitheads that fucking said, hey, she shouldn't be black. You know what I mean? And all that. You know what I mean? But
and look,
but other than that, there was most people walking into that movie loving the fucking movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the people there was a little bit of an agenda against it because of how much people liked it, and because Ariana's a pop star, so people, there's a whole fucking fan bases out there that don't like her. But okay, besides that, I think Ariana right now is far and away the lock at supporting actress for nomination. And
how cool would that be, bro?
And I wanted to point this out because Eric Anderson, who does he does awards watch. He put out his supporting actors predictions. He had Ariana at 11. And I replied to that, and I was like, because I respect that a lot of people are really trying to push Amy from Weapons. I respect that. I don't think it'll happen, but I respect the idea of like, okay, let's put her out there, let's push her up, let's do this. But look, you get people constantly going after you. It's just so weird, the narrative around Ariana Grande.
Or can we have both? Can we just snub somebody else? Come on.
Yeah, right. So I just it's so weird where some people feel about her and just the whole gimmick around that. So yeah, I think
I know I'm like a huge Wicked stan, and I just kind of like did that, but like you knew I was gonna do that. Like I loved Wicked so much. It made it into my top 3 last year. You know what I mean? Like that is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I don't like musicals a lot of the time. You know, like it has to be really good music and it has to have a purpose in the story that feels like it's resonant with the character, and that was what Wicked was to me. Like I've never seen anything like that, and it's based on a book, the play, you know, and that makes me want to read the book. You know, like I love characters like that too. That those are the kinds of characters that resonate with me. The ones where they're not the kinds of characters that you are supposed to like necessarily care about in a story, but they're getting the focus because there's no such thing as a wicked witch like exists in the Wizard of Oz. We don't have good and evil like that. That's why I love George R. R. Martin so much. There are the real battles of good and evil are in individual people's hearts, you know? Like it's not necessarily, there's evil things that get done, but that's still a war being waged inside that person's heart because they decided that this evil thing that they're doing is, you know, meets with their morals or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, so like, to me there's no Sauron in the sky that you can go take out, you know, like it just doesn't exist, you know, like you have to fight what you can, what's actually there. And Wicked to me is about the personal struggles of a person who society pushed away, you know. And I think they're doing something really incredible that will be looked back on in 20-30 years and people will be like, holy shit, the deep levels that this movie was getting to that we just kind of didn't see because we were enjoying the movie, you know. Like I'm sorry, I don't mean to take up all the time on the show on that, dude, but just, you know,
fuck it, I'm down. So we talked about it's polling in the acting categories, of course. And remember last year, Jonathan Bailey, what was it, SAG that nominated him as best supporting actor?
I think we had him as 5 for most like when we did our nomination predictions for most of the shows. And he ended up not making a lot of the lists, which I was really surprised by, you know, like, or he made it and then someone else wouldn't make it. It was weird. Like it was last year was because there was so many that were like, there was like 5 definitive, which hardly ever happens. There's just 5 definitive performances and then maybe like a 6th or 7th that are maybe could make it in, but really it's not their year, you know, like that was one where it felt like that a lot of the shows went, but what if we did that guy instead? And it was like a random ass, you know, like whatever, you know, like I can't remember, but like
look, Jeremy Allen White, you know? Or fucking Brendan Fraser's one of these guys for actor this year. You know, someone could be in this scenario that Daniel Craig was for Queer last year. And you're in it all year until you're not. And the moment you're not,
that was the one that kept bouncing Queer out for to get other people in, and it was the weirdest thing ever because that performance deserved to still be in there. I mean, it was still one of the. That was one we never got.
Great performance.
I don't think I ever got around to that one actually. Now that I think about it.
But of course, where Wicked's doing really well is the crafting categories. Production design, costume design, makeup and hairstyling, sound. And then
leave it to me to not watch the gay movie.
And then 2 for original song. So taking the Amelia Perez angle this year.
I watched the bad gay movie at least.
No. Okay. And I mean, we briefly mentioned it off the top, but look, Chloe Zhao at Hamnet is number 8 right now. Look, that's just me being realistic. So, because I'm not gonna, even though as much as I'm rooting for the movie and as much as I want to be right about predictions, I think the others are more locks for it, right? But now that we're into the range of, you know, 8 through 10, who knows what could be nominated here? But Hamnet right now is sitting at number 8, just because straight up, look, we're talking director, we're talking actress in Jessie Buckley, we're talking supporting actor in Paul Mescal. So they're playing Agnes and William Shakespeare. So. And then it's Chloe Zhao, guys. Adapted screenplay. The book is fucking. It's touted as being incredible. She knows what she's doing. I also fully expect cinematography, because anytime Chloe Zhao shows up, and she's working with Lucas Zoll here, who did The Zone of Interest. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, dude, this is going to be so visually beautiful. They released a couple images this week of it, and you can already see the massive fucking stage that they've built for this. This is going to feel so real, so lived in. It's debuting at TIFF, and it seems like Focus Features is now pushing this one forward. It just feels like that. Production design, costume design, you name it. It's getting some love. And Duke, I don't know how to describe how happy I am that before all these festivals, because I knew it was going to happen eventually, but I'm so happy that it's before everyone's like, why were we looking at this with a weird side eye? Because yes, it's a very Oscar baity movie.
It was getting dangerously close to that territory where like we would have known about it all year, and everyone would have been like, "What the fuck is this?" And we'd have been like, "Bro, we've been talking about it all year." But okay,
and it's just like, I'm so glad they're putting out these images. I can't wait for that trailer. And look, the other characters in this: Joe Alwyn, who was in The Brutalist last year; Emily Watson, who was in Dune Prophecy last year; this fucking young kid that's playing Hamnet. Like, dude, the people working on it are so fucking talented. Like, I just don't know what people were missing. I just think maybe they got a little bit too in their way of thinking it's like a Maestro, and it's just going to be kind of, critics will like it, and then it'll move on. But no other people will see this. I
think it more comes down to what ended up not hitting the way that the people thought it was going to. More than that, sometimes it's not your movie not being good enough. It's that people will have overinflated expectations for stuff that isn't going to be as good as they end up thinking it is. Which is why I try to walk into these Oscar movies with no expectations other than that they're going to be good. And if I walk in with any other expectations, I'm going to walk out not being, that's just the truth. Like, with any media consumption, you don't have to walk into a movie expecting to hate it, which is another bad way to walk into movies, but you have to walk into movies expecting. It's called being open-minded. I know it's a wild concept, but you just got to walk in with an open mind and be willing to let the movie take you on the journey that it wants to. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to have a good time at most movies,
Yeah. And so she's not doing the editing for this movie. Chloe is, and just like she didn't for Nomadland either. So yeah, look, I'm so happy. I think based on how the release schedule's working, I think there's a chance we're literally going fucking Hamnet 1 week, Avatar Fire and Ash, and then Marty Supreme. Like, it might be so fucking. I can't wait till December is such a great time. Except it's never fucking cold here. I'm still gonna be sweating in December. Fuck's sake, man. God.
Hey, look, you've been through some fucked winters, I'm sure, where you've lived. So you don't want that. I've heard it's gonna be snowy as fuck in the snowlands this year. It's not gonna be great.
It might be. Well, this next one, Duke, The Testament of Anne Lee. I'm seeing it slip off some people's lists, but look, is it safe to say, when we hear someone mention, could this be Brutalist 2.0? When I hear that, I pucker up.
I am fine with people saying stuff like that, but can we not? Because, here's the thing. When you say that, it makes me immediately think you didn't do any actual thinking about this movie. You just thought, oh, the same people that wrote this other movie, so it's going to be that. You should say, what we should say is this going to be of the quality of The Brutalist? Because of the writing, of the directing, of the whatever, right? Because
it's a musical. It's a musical, so it's gonna have beautiful sound.
Sure.
Brady and Mona, they're gonna bring that their A game with the score and everything else.
100%. And so my thought is Lol Crawley doing the score for this as well, or
I don't see anyone attached to score right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Crawley again. You know what I mean? If it was somebody else, though, I'm sure they know other people. You know what I mean? So, but that was just a thought that came to my mind, and maybe that's why they're thinking Brutalist. You know what I mean? If it was already announced that. But see, that's my thing. We don't have any other connection besides just Brady Corbet and Mona, who both were part of that production writing that movie. And it's like, yes, but like, okay, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to put that level of expectation on this movie. Like I was
Oh,
saying.
this is him.
Oh, it is him. Okay, I didn't
Yep.
know. Okay, so
Yep. Daniel
okay.
Blumberg. This is him.
Oh, okay, my bad. I had the names mixed up. My bad.
I completely missed that. I missed the where that they do. It is out there. So
Okay.
it's the
Anyway,
guy that kissed Brady at the Oscars.
yes, I'm sorry. I had his name mixed up with the guy that won the fucking something else. Anyway, it was some other production member of his team, I think, that I had it mixed up with. Maybe the producer or something like that, for Brutalist or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, but anyway, that being said, you know, maybe that it will have the same energy. Will it have the same visual style? Well, no, probably not, because it's a different movie, right? I mean, written by,
Yep.
and let's be clear, that movie was written primarily by Brady. This is written primarily by Mona. You know what I mean? So it's like it's gonna probably have a different writing style to it too, because even though they're writing together, when there's a lead writer on something, inevitably that writer's style is gonna dominate, because that's just how that works, you know?
Yeah.
So it's going to be slightly different than what we saw. It'll be flavors of it, and we'll probably be able to pick out which parts were written by her a little bit better now, right? But
premiering in Venice, being showcased at TIFF.
yeah, I think this is
we're
gonna
know.
we're gonna know. I want people
fast.
to be a little. I want people to fucking cool the jets on that. This is gonna be Brutalist 2.0.
That's the hype from the test screenings. I mean, I don't know. It could be people trying to get the word out. You know.
Do you get what I'm saying? Though it feels like you were thinking that before you walked in, type energy. You know, like, and I don't.
Well, and I don't think it can even relate to the Brutalist in terms of the story, because this is a musical drama.
Oh no, what I'm saying is I don't think it's Brutalist 2. I'm saying I think it's fucking. I think it's silly to say that it's going to be even on the quality level of the Brutalist, because that is a movie that is 1 in a million. You know what I mean? Like,
and if it matches that quality level, and that's, I think, the hint they're trying to put out is, could it be matching that? And we know this Amanda Seyfried performance as Ann Lee is going to be nuts. Like this Best Actress this year, there's not gonna be any sneaks in the top 5 like there was last year. Straight up, like, it's going to be a fucking gauntlet, and her performance as Ann Lee is going to be one of them. So, look, you know, what does that look like when it's? I don't even know, dude. Like, this movie has moved so far up the list. The more that we hear about it, that it is Brady and Mona. Now, knowing that we know it's Daniel Blumberg doing the music, I mean, holy shit. You know, with Brady, this thing's going to be visually beautiful. Like, and Mona, you know, with the both of them, it's going to be visually just, I mean, I can't even compare it to the Brutalist visually. And if it does, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make any. All I'm gonna say to that is no comment until I see the movie, because I have no. I can't react to that.
If this thing wins the Golden Lion in 2 weeks, look, we're gonna know right then and there. Oh shit, they fucking did it again. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, this is still really, really unknown on a lot of stuff. So, but we know for sure Amanda and potentially adapted screenplay. So yeah, that was number 9, and number 10, our final one here. So we just recently talked about this one. Go ahead, Duke. It was just an accident. I mean,
yeah. So
Palme d'Or winner.
This one, I'll just go back to my notes on the trailer for this one, because we talked about it in a separate video, but I don't really care, because this is kind of where I wanted to note some things about this, because this is probably going to be the movie that I'm obsessed with this year, regardless of whether it's my favorite or not. Okay, where are the trailers? Okay,
just because of all the background to it, man. Like,
so I remember writing that the trailer looked like the cinematography was being used in a similar way to how they've done in certain movies in the past, like The Shining and The Hateful Eight. And how in those they used sort of wide angle lenses to in these small rooms to create this sort of really tight, sort of constricted feeling with the shots, because when you use those what did you call them, anamorphic lenses. It's sort of
Yeah.
it does something to the shot that makes it just compress and just like kind of really focus in, and you know, it's like the when you shoot somebody's acting performance like that, the performance gets really enhanced, you know what I mean? So anyway, and it looks like this movie is going to be doing some stuff with that. There was like this specific shot in a car that I think is going to be a long shot from the back seat of this car, where we're just going to like sort of sit in this sort of when something has either just happened or is about to happen or whatever. It's going to add some intensity to that scene. It also seems like it's just going to be a really sort of, I mean, I don't even know what to really predict from this movie. It looks like it's going to be intense, and I don't know how much we've even seen of what it's actually going to be about, but it's got a lot going on in it, and I'm really excited to see what this one does. The fact that it's already in the top 10, I don't know if this was even being talked about in the top 10 before we saw the trailer. Was it? Was it? I don't even remember.
It's been a little recently. It's starting to get some more excitement to it.
It was teetering. I don't want to act like it wasn't there, you know. But I just didn't remember
I am putting this over, you know, the next two, which we'll talk about that just missed the list. I am putting this over them. So, you know, I think this is partial, a little bit of a prediction here as well. That's why it's at number 10. But I think it's just, look, the Palme d'Or winner is undeniable. We talked at length, guys. If you want to watch, we spent a lot of time talking about this movie, but at length, this director, I think no matter what, the DGA is really going to try and push to give this guy a shout. Like, it just makes so much sense to kind of, for this guy's career, to nominate him for director, get the Best Picture nomination, and just see what happens, you know? And France, maybe France nominates it for International Picture. Like, if you guys don't know, this movie was made illegally. So, yeah, watch we talk about this in Marty Supreme at length. So, yeah, it's at number 10 right now. Look, I feel pretty happy with it. This is the only one that is that conversation you mentioned off the top. You know, will we even see it? We might not see this one till like February, for all we know. This is the only one. I
haven't seen the other one.
Yep. Yeah. Isn't that funny? And our friend who's not into this shit at all has seen it.
I'm still here.
Hilarious. But yeah, so this is sitting at number 10. Okay, so the first miss. Oh, we're gonna insert this before we talk about Begonia here. Had two movies mixed up. That's okay. It happens. Begonia is in competition, so take what we say from there with a grain of salt. The movie we thought it was Luca Guadagnino's After the Hunt was submitted out of competition. I can't believe this missed, but there's two movies that are just falling and falling and falling, and I'm not even going to bother putting it in our first top 10 because it's fallen so far. That is Begonia. Duke, this was
so insane. Is you look at this movie, you look at like the cast, and you look at the who's involved. It looks like it's gonna bang. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like it's gonna be incredible. You know, like it probably will be still, but it's just gonna barely miss, and that's crazy. You know,
premise is good, trailer's good. It's Yorgos. Everyone loves Yorgos. Poor Things was, you know, very, very, very loved.
Like, we literally brought up Poor Things earlier in this as an example of how things can find a path. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like it's if that doesn't say anything, you know, like
But what is happening here? This movie is Focus Features seems to already be shifting into promoting Hamnet more for the bigger festivals. This movie was submitted to Venice, not in competition. What? Like,
it is pretty wild, yeah.
There's so many things happening, and it's just like, you know what? Just gonna take a step back, take this one off the list for now, but I'm keeping it at 11 because I do think it's going to be a good movie. So, you know, again, it's Yorgos. So
this is a prime example, by the way, why we couldn't do this list like 4 months ago or 2 months ago, because if we had, everything would be the same except for we probably just wouldn't have Hamnet in here. Maybe we wouldn't have seen the trailer for, you know,
Begonia would 100% been in the top 3.
And so, you know what I mean? So like, so it would be slightly different list. And then there would be stuff in the list that also is just completely off now. You know what I mean? So
my
it's
list on TikTok has Begonia at 4. So I mean, that was what, 3 weeks ago, I think. So I mean, this one is fallen. It's fallen fast, and I just shit or get off the pot world. Fuck that. We're taking it off. You know, it's predictions. You want to be right. That's the whole
pot
goal
world.
Here. Yeah,
that's where I want to live.
So,
Nah, fuck it. Move something out. We're putting this back in.
No, number 12. I can't believe this is not in the top 10 right now. But look,
But a lot of people are still thinking this is going to be in a lot of contention
can I tell you
for a lot of
why
stuff.
I think a big part of this is happening? And number 12, we have One Battle After Another. Okay, first off, I think the movie's going to be great. I think PTA cooks. I think Leonardo. Why is Leo not getting mentioned as actor? What is happening there? But Sean Penn is getting mentioned a lot. So that's fine. But PTA, writing, directing, all the fucking chagrin here. And what is PTA is coming off of Licorice Pizza, right? Yep.
Could this be an insane thing for me to shout and say that maybe he's not actually the main lead in the movie? Like,
I mean, maybe there's a scenario where it's is Regina Hall his wife? Yeah, maybe it's Regina Hall. Maybe we're only getting.
I also think there's going to be different time periods in the movie. I think
definitely.
I think we're going to go back to when him and the wife first met, and then we're going to go to because okay, not to spoil, but they've started mentioning this daughter in the trailers that's going to be a character.
Yep, played by Tiana Taylor.
And it's not going to be like this theoretical daughter. It's this actual daughter that's being in the movie. That's going to be a rebel or whatever right? So like,
my bad. I botched that. That's not the daughter. I believe it's a Shayna.
What? Oh, my bad. Anyway, but I didn't. Whatever. It was just the whole point is the daughter. Anyway, I think there's a potential possibility that the beginning section is where he's really doing his lead work and then he becomes more of a side character in the second half of the movie where he's still the main. We're following him, but I think like the movie's more about like the future than it is about the current or the past. I don't think it's going to be like a movie that's like. I don't know what it's about, but I just don't think it's going to be a Leo movie. I don't know why.
Can I tell you what my worry is?
Yeah.
And why this isn't in the top 10? Look, this movie, so the budget is upwards of 175 million. You're going to have a lot of the talk. This movie's not going to do well at the box office. It's not tracking well right now. It doesn't seem to have a lot of excitement. I'm very shocked it doesn't. And this movie, you're going to have the stamp on it calling it a box office failure. And I think it's just going to bleed into the movie. And it's going to be a good movie. You're going to have a lot of people telling you, why don't you go fucking support these original movies? Yada, yada, yada. You're going to have all these motherfuckers yelling and screaming at each other. And then you'll have the whole other audience that hates Leo, Then you'll have the whole other audience that loves PTA. And they're like, oh my God, he got a blank check movie,
Wait, there's an audience that hates Leo? Why? Because he only dates like girls till they're 25 or something?
I believe so.
Oh, I mean, that is creepy. I'll give it to
There's a whole
him,
audience, but when we talk about why we've had this movie so high, right? VistaVision, it's back. Yeah, like, thank you, Brady. The cast, unbelievable. PTA doesn't miss. I just worry right now because I mean, do you see this movie making over $300 million? There's no way. And they're treating this thing like it's a fucking blockbuster. The promotional is all about this movie being a blockbuster.
No, like, that is the weird thing about this. Among all the other Oscars, this is being treated like a fucking summer blockbuster or something.
Right?
Like.
And I think, unfortunately, you're going to have that stain on it. And it's just too hard to shake right now to put it in the top 10. But it's at 12. I still think it might be such a great movie. It gets in. And I believe Brother Bro still had it at number 9, for example. So look, it is still
fully
very
expect
high.
this to be in my top 10 at the end of the year, but I bet it won't be in a lot of people's because they
Agreed.
either won't see it.
Should be in our top. This fully expect this to be in the top 10 favorites of the year. But I mean, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it looked pretty good though. So
it looks awesome. Every time I see a trailer, I'm like, fuck, I want to see that movie tomorrow. Like.
One Battle After Another as 12. So another honorable mention here, a Frankenstein, Netflix at 13. Look, this movie's going to do unbelievably well in Below the Line, right? This movie will be nominated for makeup and hairstyling. It will be nominated for production, costume, you name it. Guillermo del Toro, right? Cinematography. It's safe to say that's looking pretty good. Oscar Isaac playing Victor Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth. The whole cast looks fucking awesome. And of course, it's Guillermo del Toro, right? So another premiere at Venice in competition, unlike some of the others that apparently, for some god-awful reason. But I don't know. I think Frankenstein's a safe bet to have in your top 15, right? Netflix, we've seen that. They'll push more than one.
I have a question. This random ass question in the middle of this just popped in my head. So people, this is just a little treat. This has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but it just popped in my head, and it's kind of a relevant topic. Okay, so if you took like Christopher Nolan and you made him like the DP on a shoot, do you think he would actually be able to pull it off, like with all the years of him, because of how obsessed with cameras he clearly is? Like, do you think he could actually like technically understand enough about cameras to like actually do a shoot for somebody? Like, if he was asked to, like if he was paid enough money and was willing to do it, not directing something at the time. You think he has enough skill?
I think he could, because I think at this point, when you're that level of a director, you know, you're just...
Okay, so hear me out. So we get Robert Eggers to fucking direct the movie. Guillermo writes. Christopher Nolan is the cinematographer. That movie makes all the money.
Who says no? Who says no? I mean, genuinely, though?
The studio says no because it's going to cost $70 million between those three guys.
No, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. No, but just get the person that worked with Chloe on Nomadland to do the fucking cinematography, because that guy also worked on Returnals. Because Chloe's got such that fucking touch. Joshua James Richards, get him to do the cinematography once. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, Jesus, man. I need to see an Eggers.
The reason why I say Nolan, by the way, is because I don't think I've seen a director that has the understanding of the visual language so clearly as Nolan. Like, it's why I think he shoots in IMAX in a way that other people don't, you know, because he just understands how to use the lens to not just tell the story, but to like impart feelings and impose like the will of the story on somebody, I guess is a good way to put it. You know, like,
imagine taking his understanding of that, mixing it with how Robert Eggers creates these different fucking worlds.
And we know Guillermo can write like the fucking best of them. So, you know, like, and
are you excited for Frankenstein?
I think so. I haven't seen something from him in a while, and it's like, you know, sorry, I mean, I haven't really seen a lot of his movies in a while, to be kind of honest, because a lot of them are really fucking out there. But, you know, like, but no,
One Shape of Water, right?
Yes. So it's a fucking weird movie, you know, but you know, but it's an Oscar movie, so you know.
Oh my God, Charles Dance is in this.
Oh yeah, no, this movie looks good. Awesome. No, like this looks interesting. Like I'm not out of this. Oh no, yeah, the cast of this is great. It's
is this up for casting? Hello?
I hope so. You know,
where
depends
is
on if
this
it's above or below the line. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know, like
we need a fucking gut check here for casting, man.
I mean, I'm telling you, dude, this is a good movie.
I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know if I'm even excited for this, but I think
excited.
I am.
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, because like, I'm excited for a lot of things, but like, am I as excited for this as I am for like The Long Walk? Probably not. You know, like,
oh no, not at all. Like, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know if we're here watching this on Netflix opening day, but I think we'll watch it opening week. You know, I think it's that kind of.
I'll put it to you like this: I was probably the same level of excited as that Tom Hardy Netflix movie that came out, and I still haven't seen that. So. You know, like,
oh, that's fair. All right, we'll hit these last couple here. If anyone doesn't know this, Edward Berger has a movie coming out this year. Oh, you didn't know that either?
Oh, yeah. You didn't know?
It's like fucking hidden, apparently. Ballad of a Small Player, Netflix movie again.
They're hiding his power level.
Yeah, right. Colin Farrell. I mean, look, we're going solely based on here. The book. When critics talked about this book, it's a well-received book. It's debuting at TIFF. Colin Farrell. You just saw the trailer to this. I mean, it didn't give us too much.
I mean, it looks good. You know, I don't know. You know, I hope Colin is doing some good stuff besides Penguin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's got that big, bold, beautiful journey here this year, right? So that looked good.
I like that role was so good that it got him these other good roles. I just think that's good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's great.
And you know, because I see that trailer all the time. And
when people are like, what do you mean? They were probably filming that at the same time he would have gotten the role. It's like, yeah, that's how Hollywood works. You hear things through the grapevine, like, oh my God, do you guys understand what they're doing over at fucking Warner Brothers right now? Fucking Colin Farrell has become the Penguin. It's insane. Like, you know, that gets around. Like, you know, that's how people fucking names in people's. That's how you get a guy who's never heard of a guy casting a guy. Like my favorite one from last year was Jesse Eisenberg literally never met Kieran Culkin in his life or seen him in anything, but just said, "No, you're perfect for my movie."
You know, I'm gonna have to insert. I'm gonna have to insert something before our next movie. So, we're gonna insert this before we talk about Begonia here. Had two movies mixed up. That's okay. It happens. Begonia is in competition, so take what we say from there with a grain of salt. The movie we thought it was was Luca Guadagnino's After the Hunt was submitted out of competition. So I'm going to insert that in that spot, but it's also going to play live here. So look, this one, Duke, again, if we did this in April, it's probably top 5. I mean, I think I'm still a little high holding it at 15 because of the director, but this movie's dead. Like, look at this fucking poster. This poster is so fucking terrible. Everyone, like,
because it's a period piece set way back in the day, right? Like, or am I tweaking?
It's got a bad poster, a bad trailer, and now it's not in competition.
Right, because the images I've seen of this are like outdoor pioneer type days, right? Am I tweaking? Is that not what this movie is?
It's something like that, and it's just, it fucking sucks because I think, again, Luca is gonna miss with this one.
Do you think Luca is just like one of those artists? And I can't think of an example right now, but like there are occasionally these artists that come along that like hate the industry being the way that it is, and they did intention. I mean, Brady Corbet might be one of these too. You know, like where like they hate the industry, and so they go out of their way to make things more difficult for the industry because they want to say "fuck you" back for all the opportunities they've not had. You know, like, you know. Am I inserting something that doesn't actually exist? I don't know. Like, you know,
I think Luca's going to be one of those directors when it finally comes around, whenever movie it is, when it finally, people thought it was going to be this one, it was going to be a career award. And I am so concerned with, I mean,
it's so fascinating when you say that. Like, usually when you say that, it's like, you know, like, it's amazing to me that it was like that with Leo, you know, like, but like, Leo is like the one example I can think of. I'm sure there were other ones, but like, I guess it's like Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor, right? Or like the other obvious one, right? But like,
could be George Clooney this year, Brendan Fraser that year.
But there are just some people that you've seen them give these performances. They just never land in the right years, and it's like, yeah, or these, you know, these I mean, because delivering
Luca's
in the
catalog is unfucking real.
It's untouchable.
I mean, artificial will do it. I mean, are we already looking to next year? Like, are we already looking that far ahead? Oh, no, he can't compete for next year. There's no fucking way. You're not competing.
No, you're not competing with the Odyssey and Dune 3 and
Dune 3. I mean, it's not happening. So
Dune 3, which might be the best of the 3 Dune movies, and I'm not even kidding.
Like 2027, like, I'm so sad that this movie fell off a cliff. I hope we go and watch it and we love it just like Challengers and can fucking cheer it on. But
you know what makes me so happy about Dune 3 is that we haven't heard from Denis in so long, which means he's fucking locked in, you know? Like,
yeah, 100%.
I mean, I'm sure he's put out statements, but like, we haven't heard anything like big in the press where Denis has been like, "Oh, look at this," you know? Like, yeah.
Yeah, and let's hit our last couple real quick here.
Sure.
Just going off the list. So 16 through 20. Avatar Fire and Ash still got to be in the top 20 right now.
So it's funny. This is so low on the list right now, but it's because it's not out yet. Once it's out, it's going to be below the line all over the place. You know what I mean? So like, it's just not getting talked about because it's a big movie, but it's not out yet. It's kind of probably what Sinners was before. I think a big reason
it's not getting talked about either is 20th Century already has Springsteen. So who knows, man? Like, I don't know. Sorry Baby at 17. A24 unfortunately probably won't promote it, but
isn't James Cameron a billionaire? He could finance his own campaign, you know, like I feel like
he probably fucking could. You know? And he probably will. Sorry Baby is not getting a lot of love as it should because incredible screenplay.
Please God, let this movie make it up the list somehow and make it into the top
10.
Maybe
it's our Sing Sing and it just keeps climbing and keeps climbing.
Please, I mean, if we have to sacrifice Wicked for it, I don't want to, but if we have to, you know,
and the next movie is dead, but I want to mention it before the festivals because, you know, it won People's Choice at TIFF last year. So it had a lot of excitement going into it, but Neon it's not happening. And that's The Life of Chuck. So The Life of Chuck is basically dead. I put it at 18 this time. Hey, you know, got a good Letterboxd score, good Rotten Tomatoes, but it's dead.
What was the movie last year that was dead? Oh, it was the singer chick movie. Maria, was that what it was? I was already dead by the time I got to it. But
The Last Showgirl died.
Yeah,
sadly.
A couple those both ones, and they were both really good. And it's like, how are these dead? But it just happens sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it happens. And then Train Dreams Could Climb. It's Netflix. And The Wizard of the Kremlin That's the Paul Dano movie. Got that in the top 20 right now.
Put this one to you guys like this. I hadn't heard about this one until this list, and so that's how climbing this is. That's the level of climb we're talking about.
It's moving up
here.
fast.
So it could be like in the 15s, like real quick, like.
And then just other ones to keep an eye out for. Bradley Cooper's movie. What's that going to do? Is it going to come out this year? No
he's
idea.
Such a crapshoot every year because he's either winning Best Director or he's not fucking getting nominated for a single thing. It's the wildest thing.
People love Maestro, man. I mean, and so he's only going to be getting better. Like he almost did it with Maestro. So look, he's going to keep climbing. Is his movie dropping? Because if we had official word his movie was dropping, probably put it at 15 right now. Just because it's like this guy's going to put out something good. But yeah, Duke, I mean, look, I think we have an incredible year on our hands. After the Choice is another one. Keep an eye out for that, I believe. We'll talk about that on our festival video tomorrow that you guys are seeing. So if you guys haven't noticed, I mean, we're uploading every day in August. It's been awesome. It's been really fun. It's been cool. It's challenged us as creators. We're coming up with cool ideas and, it's fun. It's a great time.
I'm not even kidding. I think something that came out this week, I came up with the idea a week and a half ago or something like that. Like,
yeah.
Threw it out there while we're sitting there playing some Rivals or something. I was like, hey, can we do a Batman villains? And you're like, yeah, fuck it.
And yeah, it's been so much. It's been a lot of fun. Tomorrow we're doing the festival preview, and then we have a review for Sorry Baby. Kind of it is on this list. I think Sorry Baby is still holding a little bit under, because look, she will be nominated for the DGA for first time director, and I don't see how she doesn't win it right now. I mean, I have to really fucking think about it, but I mean, Eva Victor, I think that movie's really gonna pull hard, and it's gonna keep going up and up. So we'll have to see. So we'll have a review of that out the following day. So that is what? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I believe. So, yeah. And then we got Peacemaker coming up. We got some other shit dropping. Oh, The Hope of Elantris dropping. So that'll be Tuesday, actually. So push one of these to Wednesday. And then we got Peacemaker, guys. Peacemaker's back in full swing. So
Peacemaker Taco Night.
Yeah. We just dropped our X-Men 97 review. We had the week of DC. Which was fun, which we did that Batman villains casting you were talking about. Absolute Green Lantern comics. We got comic stuff on the channel now. And yeah, I might upload this to YouTube. I don't know. We used visual aid the entire time.
You had visual aids up pretty much the entire time, so you could honestly pop this one to YouTube. And to be clear, we do upload some of these to YouTube. So if you guys want to support us on the Visoki Entertainment, YouTube, VISOKII Entertainment, feel free to do so. I'm sure our boy Brady will appreciate seeing the views go up, but yeah, no, like I
haven't looked since our last one, so I should maybe see if anyone's give us any comments on shit.
Oh, you should definitely at least be checking those for the comments, my guy. I mean, that's like you're
okay.
Like...
So it's just the MCU ranking one, which is so. Okay, so what do we upload on here? We uploaded the weapons review and Ironheart, and then the MCU ranking. So yeah, we uploaded weapons. So yeah, I think we'll upload this. I think it'll be fun. So I think we'll have that uploaded too.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, and on that bombshell, we'll see. I mean, when do you think's the next one? Maybe October? After all the festival stuff's out, we'll have a lot stronger opinion on some of these movies. Knowing where they're at.
When's the point at what? Okay, which of the at what point do you think have seen at least 4 or 5 of the top 10? Do you think October? Do you think we'll have seen enough by then, or do you think we still haven't seen most of them by then? Because that's kind of the thing. I don't think we have to have seen all of them.
I think we'll have only seen Springsteen.
Okay, so
but we will know.
We can, but we'll have the vibe of a lot of those other movies.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good time. I think after we see Springsteen would be a good time.
We'll see Jay Kelly too. Jay Kelly's
October. Yeah, we'll see Jay Kelly on Netflix, and then we'll see. Yeah, I think
Train Dreams.
I think that'll be a good time because we'll have seen some more movies. We can adjust our. There'll be
so much more information out. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. That'll be a good time because we'll have a lot of that stuff out. We'll have to figure out the timing, but yeah, I do think that will be. Because not a bad.
As you guys can tell, we're gonna wait to do like our actors and actresses until a lot more time goes on. I think Best Picture you
because it
can
can change so much. I mean,
yeah, you can do
like,
these in fall for Best Picture, and we could do one all throughout the year. So, but yeah, if you guys like Oscar coverage, I mean, once that time hits in January and February, I mean, we're doing basically every week. We're talking shit on here, so it's great. It's Oscar coverage because we do all those award shows.
Oscars, it's the Oscars.
You gotta follow the tea leaves, man. That's what it's all about.
I smoked the tea leaves. Am I not supposed
Hell
to do
yeah.
that?
Hell yeah, everybody. On that bombshell,
Instructions were not clear.
catch you guys on the flip side.